Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Non-Stop Noob PH. Okay, as you can see, we have a deck box here. This is Pauper League Philippines because this content is brought to you in part by Pauper League PH. There you go. And Pauper League PH is the premier Pauper League in the Philippines. The deck that is inside the deck box is actually a Pauper deck. So let's see what it has. Okay, so these are 60 cards sleeves for the main deck. And this may be the sideboard. Those are 15 cards. And this probably the token. I think those are a lot of tokens. Okay, let's pull one out and see what we have. Oh, all right. So it is the slime against humanity. So this is another build for the slime against humanity. This deck cannot be built in the Magic the Gathering online because this deck contains one card that cannot be bought or cannot be obtained in the Magic the Gathering online platform. So we created a version of it in paper. We already tried it in some tournaments here in the Philippines, by far winning some games and losing a lot of them. But it's okay. At least we are trying to build the deck. And at least we are trying to create a new deck out of this very exciting card. Okay, so let's see. How many slimes do we have in this deck? This deck contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. 16 slime against humanity card. We don't need to mill. So that's why we only have 16. For this deck, we will use the Tangled Island. This means that the deck is blue-green. We also have 4 forests. These are 11 islands. We can also fetch the Tangled Islet using the Lorien Revealed. Island cycle early, or we can draw 3 cards in the late game. We also have 2 of these big boys, the Solarian Terror. The flyers will come out of the modern age. So this will help slimes become bigger because we'll have to discard some of the slime against humanity to our graveyard. Eventually, this will transform as the Vector Glider. We also have one of the dip analysis. So this is Flashback, Deduce, Instant Speed Draw, the very useful Preordained. Scry 2, then draw a card. As counters, we have the Spell Pierce, the best counter in the land, the counter spell, 4 of those, and the Ram Troop. So the card that I have been talking about earlier, the one that is not in the MTGO software, is the Foresight. Okay, this card is not available in Magic the Gathering online, but is of course available in paper and is Pauper legal. And it has a very good synergy with the Slime Against Humanity card, because you can search your library for any 3 cards and remove them from the game. We remove 3 Slime Against Humanity on turn 2 and then draw an extra card on the opponent's turn. You can have this as the engine for the Slime Against Humanity card. And this is a very, very difficult creature to stop, especially that it has trample. So we have a sideboard. Okay, first of all, we have the Nihil Spellbomb to weather the storms. 3 Moments Peace. We also have the Blue Elemental Blast. We also have a Null. We have 2 of the Ram Troops again in the sideboard. And we have a lot of ooze token as well. And we also have, for the deduce, we have the clue token that has slimes on it. So it's very, very good, and it's in the theme. And even my deck box has an ooze on it. Yeah, I love slime very much. So up next, let's see if this will hold its own against the stronger deck in the format.
And the first contender is Boros 8 Inspector deck. Okay, let's see what will happen here. So it's a die roll. The Simic gets a 3 and the Boros gets a 12. So the Boros will play first. The player is Daniel Lanchon, and the pilot for the Simic Infect is ASAR OPISYAL. Okay, so let's see if they will play it. Danielle will call it goods, and Asar will play as well. So it's a wins card crack. He will gain 1. He draws, Asar will draw and plays a Tangled Islet, a top islet forest. And Danielle quickly puts out a Traven Inspector and casts another wins card crack. He's looking for a clue token. There you go. And Asar will play an island and will cast the Foresight. And here he will exile 3 cards from his library. The 3 cards are, of course, the Slime Against Humanity. Again, this card is not available in MTGO. That's why Asar Official made it in paper so that everyone can preview it. Okay, there's a cut. And those are exiled, 3 of those. And they pass the turn. Daniel, on his turn, will attack. And Asar will take 1, and Daniel quickly casted a rebel with the bar fist. And he bounced a land for the Boros garrison. And another island came out of Asar's turf. And I guess we're gonna see 1 slime against humanity here. And this will create, I guess, those are 5/5 counters already. So it's a 5/5 gigantic ooze on turn 3. And he passes the turn. And Daniel, on his turn, will play an experimental synthesizer. And he will exile 1 card, and that is a Forgotten Cave. He exiled that, and he plays it as well. And now he's thinking if he will attack, because there's a 5/5 blocker. He plays... No, he transfers the equipment, the Barbed Battle Fist, to the Inspector. And he attacks with both creatures. And Asar is thinking if he will block, which one to block. He blocks the Rebel, so that he will take only 1 damage from the Inspector. Okay. And his Asar's turn again. He plays another island. And now, is he gonna cast another slime? Oh, he puts down the Modern Age. So he will put 1 counter on the Saga and draw and discard a card. Which one is he gonna discard? He is going to discard... Okay. Which one will it be? He discards a slime, of course. So the slime counter will add up eventually the next time he casts it. And he used the remaining mana to cast the Modern Age again. And he will draw and discard another one. One more counter in that saga. The first level. And he will discard a Tangled Island. He has a lot of lands in his hand. And he will attack with a 5/5. And Danielle won't block because he has no blockers and takes the 5 damage outright. And it's Danielle's turn. He plays the Core Sky Pisher and bouncing the Synthesizer, exiling a Novice Inspector. Another Inspector, that's why this deck is called the 8 Inspector deck. And he plays that. And another clue token will come out. So those are 2 clue tokens already. And he is thinking if he is again gonna attack or not. He can attack with the Inspector again, but because there are no blockers on the side of ASAR, he will play another Windscarred Crag. This is the one he bounced, and he attacked with the Inspector. And ASAR will take 2 again. And he transfers. No, he will not transfer. He'll just pass the turn. And ASAR on his turn will draw for the turn. And he will draw and discard for the second level of the saga. And Daniel imposes that he should draw and discard first before he draws again. Okay, so that's how it goes. Okay, so he discards another slime and another land. And he plays a forest. And right now, I think we're gonna see another slime here. And that is another slime. How many counters are those? Let's see. Those are 6. So this slime will end up having +8 counters. Those are gigantic oozes already. I don't know how Lanshon will stop this. And with the remaining mana, ASAR will cast a Foresight and exiles 3 more of those slime against humanity from his library. So if those are 16 slimes, then 9 are already in exile and in the graveyard. So he has 7 more slimes in his deck. And the oozes will come out gigantic after this. He will attack with the 5/5 ooze. Is Danielle gonna block? No, he takes the damage. 5 damage down to 13. And Danielle responding at the end of turn with Galvanic Blast on the face, down to 11 for ASAR Opisial. Okay, and in Danielle's turn, he will... Is he gonna attack or not? He looks at his hand. He thinks about it. I think it's better that he attacks this turn, so that the pressure will be on ASAR Opisial because he has an 8/8 creature. And if this will pass on to another turn, it's gonna be lethal for him because those oozes have trample. Okay, ASAR reminding Danielle that he has a lethal trample creatures on his side of the board. Okay, Danielle is still thinking. What strategy is he going to do? Is he going to attack and damage for a 5 measly damage if it gets blocked? The only damage that will surely hit ASAR Official is the damage from the core Sky Fisher because ASAR Official doesn't have reach. So if he's gonna attack now, the two grounded creatures will be no. Okay, we also have one inspector that will hit because ASAR Official only has one blocker, and Danielle is taking time to strategize. Strategy is a must. So this is a must-win turn for him, or else is gonna be trampled. Okay, he taps the Forgotten Cave for red mana. No, he untaps it. He is thinking a lot. Okay, he taps the Forgotten Cave for the red, casting an experimental synthesizer, exiling a Glinthawk. Is that a Glinthawk? Yes, it is a Glinthawk, and he plays it using one white of the Boros garrison. And a lightning bolt came out. It is still in exile though, and he has one red mana floating. What is he gonna do with the red mana? The floating red mana. He is gonna play a mountain. Okay. So he is reminded that the lightning bolt is still in exile. Okay, he transfers the Barb Battlefist to Core Skyfisher and attacked with all his creatures. So that's 3 damage from the Core Skyfisher and another damage from the Inspector, the Novice Inspector, and 1 from the Traven Inspector. So ASAR will block 1 creature eventually. Okay, he blocks the Traven Inspector. And ASAR will take damage, 4 damage, and he takes another. And he is bombarded by burn spells, a lightning bolt, and a galvanic blast to finish the game. Daniel and Sean wins game 1. Okay, that was a tight battle. I guess the clincher is the lightning bolt that came from the experimental synthesizer. Yes, that's how it goes. If ASAR Official had another turn, it would be lethal for him, for Danielle. And if another ooze comes out, that would be around 12-12. Okay, that's the first match for the Simic Slimes versus the Boros 8 Inspector. Let's go to the second match. Okay. The second match is here. The second match. Are they gonna play their opening hand without any moves? The score is 0-1 in favor of Danielle and Sean. And they play both of their hands. I guess ASAR Official is a little bit flooded with lands. Danielle plays an island, no, a plains and a Traven Inspector right away. One drop Inspector. We have 8 of those in his deck. And ASAR plays a Modern Age, drawing and discarding 1 card. He discards a land because he's flooded. Okay, it's the turn and attacks for 1 right away. He plays a Great Furnace and a Barbed Battle Fist with the Rebel token. ASAR OPISYAL will draw and discard again. And he discards a slime. ASAR will play another island. And taps for 3 and untaps it and just pass the turn. Hesitates to play, I guess this is slime. Okay. Now Daniel on his turn has a plane and a great furnace. And he plays a Lembas. He will scry 1 and he keeps what he saw on top of the library and he attacks again with 3 damage. No, that's 4 damage, I guess. 4 damage and another Novice Inspector and another clue comes out. So that's okay. ASAR will flip the Saga into the Vector creature. The Vector Glider, that is. It's a flying 2/3 creature, so he has a creature now. He plays another island. And he does the Foresight, exiling 3 cards from the graveyard, and of course he will get the Slime Against Humanity. So those are 3 cards exiled from the game and will eventually be counted as 1/1 counters later on when you cast the Slime Against Humanity. So this is somewhat a turbo mechanic for the Slime Against Humanity, so it's very, very effective. So as long as you cast the Foresight in the early game, of course. And Danielle will untap his creatures. And ASAR has 1 blocker. There's a 2/3 flyer already. And Danielle will play another Great Furnace. Oh, and he casts a Dawnbringer Cleric, choosing to destroy the enchantment. And the Glider is an enchantment creature, so it's destroyed. That was a great play by Danielle, and a good hand at that. And he attacks again with all his creatures, bringing ASAR OPISYAL to 10. He is in a difficult position now. Plays another island. What will he do to get out of this spree? And he casts a Slime Against Humanity. And how big is this ooze gonna be? The ooze will have 6 counters on it, so it's a 6/6 creature on turn 5, I guess. So I guess this is a little bit too late for him. And he plays a Preordained, scrying 2, trying to find an answer to the attacking spree of Danielle. Okay, he draws what he sees on top of the library, putting the 2 scried card on the bottom. Okay, Danielle cracks a clue and draws a card on the end turn and untaps all his creatures and lands. And he will draw for turn. Okay, Danielle is in a very good position. Is he gonna end it this turn or not yet? He taps a Great Furnace for red mana. He transfers the equipment to Traven and Spectre again. He will attack with all the creatures. So that's 6 damage, I guess. He blocks the Rebel because it's the bigger one. And he takes 2, 3, 4 damage. He will be down to 6. He has 3 open mana. And he will bounce the Great Furnace for a Boros Garrison. He cast another Novice Inspector, creating another clue, and he cast a Core Sky Fisher with his remaining mana. He bounces off the Barbed Battle Fist, and he will pass the turn. ASAR OPISYAL has 5 mana on his side. He plays a Tangled Islet. Again, Daniel and Sean is on an advantage with 1 game and 0 for ASAR OPISYAL. He taps for 3. Another Slime Against Humanity comes out. And that's a 7/7 ooze creature right out of a 3 mana casting. Okay, so those are big creatures right now, but he's down to 6, so he's still in a very difficult position, and he has no removal or whatsoever in his deck. And he has 2 open mana. I guess he has a counter spell. We'll see if he has that. Okay, Danielle is now preparing to attack again. I think he will attack so that ASAR will eventually get pressured. If he attacks, he will get at least 4 damage and he'll be down to 2. Okay, but Danielle can attack with the Core Sky Fisher only because ASAR cannot block that because he has no reach. So Danielle is thinking, what is he gonna do right here? Is he gonna attack with all the creature or just the flyer? Okay, Danielle casts a Barbed Battle Fist again. He's asking if it's okay. ASAR did counter, so it's a Rebel token again for him. So that's a 3/1 Rebel with the Barbed Battle Fist in it. And he casts a Relic of Progenitus. I think we will see an exiling of the graveyard action soon. And he will tap 1 more for the mana. And he exiles the graveyard of everyone. He draws for that. And he plays a Great Furnace. And Danielle will attack with... On his combat phase, he will attack with a Core Sky Fisher only. Interesting. Okay, so he takes 2 sure damage. ASAR will take 2 damage and is down to 4. So he is in Galvanic Blast zone right now. So if Danielle has a Galvanic Blast in his hand, or he has 2 of those, then he should have casted it already. But since ASAR OPISYAL has 2 open mana, which are blue, during his turn, he cannot cast it yet. So I guess he only has 1. Okay, what will ASAR OPISYAL do here? He is thinking he has a 6/6 creature and a 7/7 ooze. Is he gonna attack? But Danielle still has 20 life on his side. And he casting another Slime Against Humanity. And this ooze will come out as an 8/8 ooze. So he has an 8, a 7, and a 6 ooze on his side. But even though he's still down to 4. So he has 3 mana open. And he passed the turn. Okay. So Danielle will crack another clue token so that he can draw. Okay, he untaps everything. Okay, they're anxious because they don't know what will happen next. Okay, did Danielle get a burn spell right here? They're just waiting for it. Okay, Danielle plays a Great Furnace again. Danielle will tap the Boros garrison and he cracks the final clue token. I really don't know what he got. So if he has a burn spell right there. Okay, I can see that he has one Galvanic Blast already. But ASAR Official has 3 open mana and 3 of those are blue. So, okay, there's a journey to nowhere. Is ASAR gonna counter it or not? Okay, the journey to nowhere is targeting against the 8/8 creature. Is he gonna counter or not? He does not counter. It will resolve. Will it resolve? Okay, he taps for 2 mana. This is a counter, I guess. Oh, and he cast a ram through. Targeting the 8/8 creature, damaging the flyer. Okay, the flyer will go. And because it has 3 toughness, the ram through will trample 5 damage, the excess damage to Danielle. So Danielle will take 5 damage. Okay, then he's down to 15. He's 1 point away from being lethal by the 2 tramplers that ASAR Official has. Okay, now he's down to 4 and he has 1 mana remaining. That's a blue and I hope he has a Dispel and the Galvanic Blast comes out. 4 damage in the face and he will tap and he scoops the game. He scoops the game. Okay, and Danielle Lanchon will take this one. The Simic slime held itself against the Boros, the popular Boros deck. And the only downside was that the slime against humanity was not able to draw the sideboards that he placed on his deck on the second game. And the other draw engine did not come out and he was flooded with land right away on opening hand and he did not move. Let's see what will happen next. The second game for the Simic Slime against humanity. Okay, the next game is between the Simic Slime against humanity versus the Rakdos Discarder. And this is a match between ASAR Official again and Dean Miranda. Okay, they will go to a die roll. ASAR will roll 10 and Dean gets a measly 1 and ASAR will have to play first. Okay, the first game between the Slime and the Boros 8 Inspector was a very close one during the first match, but on the second match he was bombarded by a lot of creatures because the Boros got wide early at the game and ASAR was flooded by lands. Okay, in this game, Dean will go for a mulligan. He will be down to 6 cards. He moves to 6 cards. Okay, is he gonna get a better hand right now? Let's see. Okay. Dean is thinking if he's gonna keep the hand. He's gonna take 1 card and put it on the bottom of his library. Okay, I think he's gonna keep the hand. Again, this match has been done at Neutral Ground Sentries in Quezon City, Philippines. The Neutral Ground Sentries is the first WPN store in the Philippines. The premium WPN store in the Philippines. So we saw that the Tangled Islet and the mountains came out already. And another land, which is a forest, came out. And the foresight on the second turn. Dean is, I guess, not familiar with it. So ASAR will exile 3 cards on the second turn. 3 of which are, of course, this time against humanity. So he removes that from the game. He shuffles his library and he'll get a draw on the turn of Dean Miranda. Okay, so it's past turn, I guess. Okay, they both draw. This is what's that? Bloodfell Caves. He gains 1 life. And an island came out. Is he gonna do it now? Is he gonna cast a slime right away? And he does! And it's a turn 3 5/5 ooze token. I don't know how Dean is gonna answer this one, but okay. Those has 5 counters in it. He changed the dice. Dean is thinking of how to, if he has a bolt in his hand or a galvanic glass, it will not reach the damage because these are 5/5s already. And he plays another mountain. He taps for 2. I think that's a black and red that's his tapping. Oh, he just passes the turn. I think he's just gonna take the damage. And ASAR draws a card. And he attacks with the... And the Terminate card came out. And the counter spell from ASAR Official. So Dean will take 5 damage down to 16. That was a good play by ASAR. And he cycles for a Tangled Islet. And he will play that card for land this turn. And Dean will untap. On his turn, draws a card. And another Bloodfell Caves and gains 1 life. And he is up to 17. And he taps for 2 mana again. He casts a Night's Whisper. So he'll draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. So he has 6 cards in hand. And still no creature. Okay, ASAR will get a Preordain. Is he gonna cast that right away? He casts the Preordain with 1 blue mana. And he scries the 2 top cards of his library and he puts it back. I think in the same order. So he is getting a good sequence with his library right now. Is he gonna cast another slime? He attacks first for 5 damage and Dean is down to 10. He is in a very difficult position unless he gets a creature. And ASAR will do another island cycling. Searching for... He searches for an island and he plays it this turn. So it's the 5th turn. Okay, and the Tellurian Terror comes out for only one blue mana because he has a lot of instants and sorceries on the graveyard already. So there's a 5/5 Tolarian Terror and a 5/5 Ooze Trampler on his side. And I don't know how Dean Miranda will answer this two huge creatures. And he puts down a swamp, taps that for mana with a mountain, and a skullcap snail comes out, and ASAR Official discards. He will discard again for Liliana's Scepter. So he discards an Ooze token, no, a slime card from the skull cap, and now he's gonna discard another card. So that's a hard hit on his hand. Discarding, and one card remains, and he discards a Tolarian Terror again. So he has two Tolarian Terrors in his hand. And what did he keep? I hope he kept something. Okay, he casts the Ram through, targeting the Ooze to the Liliana Scepter, and it will give excess damage. And the combat, and he will take damage. He will be down to 1. And another Ooze comes out. And this Ooze will be... How many? How many counters does he have? A 9/9 Ooze comes out. And Dean tries to draw. And he scoops the game. He is trampled by the huge oozes. And I guess the 5/5 ooze on turn 3 did a lot of advantage for ASAR Official. Okay, so what will happen in game 2? Let's see. Here we go. Okay, here we are at game 2 between ASAR Official with the Simic Slime and Dean Miranda's Rakdos Discarder. Okay, let's see what will happen here. Is ASAR Official gonna win the game finally? Okay, they both keep their hands. And a mountain came out. ASAR will play an island. He passed the turn. He will play a swamp and immediately casts a Night Whisper, taking 2 and draws 2 cards. And a Lorien Revealed came out. Cycling for a Tangled Islet. Okay. So, what will come out next from the hand of ASAR Official? And what sideboard did they put on both of the decks? He draws for his turn. ASAR will play a forest. And he taps for 2. And another Foresight comes out. So that's 3 Slime Against Humanity down to the exile zone. Alright. And Dean comments that it's a big thing that he can exile right away on turn 2. Because it can pump the Slime Against Humanity oozes right away. Okay, so those are exiled. And he will pass the turn, and they will both draw. And the Foresight, of course, is a draw. So it's a very, very good card. With lots of cards. Oh, the Duress came out. The Duress came out. And what will Dean Miranda discard from the hand? a non-land card. So he has a null, he has ram 3, he has 2 slime against humanity, he has the deuce, tangled islet, and a blue elemental blast. And Din Miranda discards a slime against humanity. Probably thinking that it's okay to discard it instead of casting it because it's a huge creature. Okay, tangled islet came out. What will Star Official do? He passes the turn. I guess he's gonna cast the Deduce on the end turn of Dean. Okay, 2 mana is tapped. Another Knight's Whisper, and he takes 2 for that and draws 2 cards. And he plays another Swamp. 2 open mana, 1 red and 1 black. He passes the turn. And end turn, the Deduce comes out. And a clue token will come too. And it is countered by a Pyroblast. No draws and no tokens for you, ASAR OPISYAL. 1 mana to counter a blue spell. Okay, that's a green mana for ASAR. And I guess we're gonna see a slime against humanity this turn. Okay, there you go. 1 slime against humanity ooze coming right out. And this one will have a 6/6 counter on it. Okay, ASAR Official is leading with a 1-0 lead over Dean Miranda in this round. Okay, ASAR is 20 and Dean Miranda is down to 16. What will Dean Miranda do? Oh, he taps 4 mana. Is he gonna tap a 4 mana to cast a 4 mana card? He taps 3 mana. Still thinking. 3 mana to Rancid Earth, the Tangled Islet. Wow, this is interesting. A land destruction for the discarder. Now, ASAR Official is down to 3 mana only. And the cards in his hand are almost counters. And they said that they have damage for both of them. 1 damage for both of them. So 19 and 15 outright. Attacking for 5. Taking 5 damage. So that's down to 9. No, 6 damage. That is. So this is down to 9. Dean is down to 9. And ASAR Official will preordain. And it is again Pyroblasted by Dean Miranda. That was a very, very huge play for him. No draws for ASAR Official, and it's down to 3 lands only. And what will come out of this 4 mana casting? What will come out of? Oh, it is the turn of the Black Rose. So he gets the Monarch. Okay, the Monarch will come out and he will draw. Okay, on the end of turn, ASAR Official ram through Dean Miranda and he will take excess damage and he's down to 6. And the attack will be enough to finish the game. So Dean Miranda will concede. And the Slime against humanity wins this round. Okay, that was a very, very good game against the Slime against humanity and the Rakdos discarder. Even though the Slime got countered twice by the Pyroblast, the Slime against humanity still managed to pull out the win because he has a 6/6 creature on turn 3. And this became a very, very huge advantage for him. Okay, so that's it with the Slime against humanity with the Foresight build. See you again soon for more Slime Time and Pauper League PH action here in NonStopNoobPH.